Hey guys, I hope you are having a kick-ass Wednesday so far. I'd love to hear what you're up to. And thank you for joining me here today as we're going to be diving into why you're not as successful as you want to be, and it's not what you've been saying. So thank you for joining me. You probably heard me say before, I don't know what it is. Every time I hit go live, my lips get dry. Can't tell you what the fuck that's about. But anyway, they feel better now. So it's really interesting, of course, now after we've been through, of course, COVID, which hit businesses really hard, and then, the news outlets have been throwing around recession. And I've seen so many entrepreneurs right now where they're like, oh, I'm struggling so much. My revenue's down. People aren't signing up. Like all of the things. I'm hearing it all. And it may seem like the reason that you're not seeing the income, signing the clients, getting the success levels that you want right now are because of these external factors. And it's really easy to point fingers at them. Like, oh, the algorithm isn't showing my post to as many people, so it's not working XYZ, right? And that's the logical mind at work. And don't get me wrong, strategy is always a very important and integral aspect and puzzle piece for your business, but it ain't the whole thing. So the real truth behind why anybody isn't as successful as they want to be in that moment is themselves. You, underneath it all, your vision, your viewpoint, your perspective. It's really interesting how we can talk about like the concept of like optimist and pessimist. I don't think I said that either of those. Optimist and pessimist. There we go. Language. And, the truth is it's not just about your predisposition. It isn't. And the truth is your mind is really set to seek out problems anyway. So it's arguable that we are all kind of preset to be pessimistic, but you have control over your mind. You have control over your viewpoint. You have the control at the end of the day, right? Like, yes, if you let go of the wheel of your car, it might naturally want to go into the ditch. This is why you drive the car. You don't let the car drive itself. Same thing with your fucking brain. You don't let it drive itself. It will drive you into the goddamn ditch. And this is what's happening for a lot of people right now, where they're like, oh, this is happening, that's why. Nope. It's always about you at the end of the day. Yes, don't get me wrong. These external factors are at play. This is where adaptation comes in your business, in your life. Like this is where like the meat and potatoes is. Really, really, really important to recognize that you can't put on your blinders, but that you need to find your own path within what's happening. So for example, if you were like, there's not a recession happening right now, that's not true, right? And that's like sticking your head in the sand. That's not accurate. There is a recession going on right now. The collective consciousness is projecting this into existence right now. So yes, it's happening. You can acknowledge it's happening. We're not trying to say it's not happening, but your perspective about your individual experience with it is 1000% within your control. So when we kind of go, oh, people aren't buying right now because of the recession, nobody's buying. Bullshit. People are still spending money. They're just not spending it with you right now. And that's because of the perspective. We need to switch it to, I thrive during recessions. I adapt and pivot to serve clients and their unique needs during recessions. Like we need to switch the verbiage. This is really important because your mind works like Google. Whatever you input in the search, it will feed you back the appropriate response, even if it has to make it up. Your mind is a meaning-making machine. So you need to give it the right input data to get the right output. So for example, if you're going, why am I not successful right now? Your brain will go, because of the recession, because Facebook changed its algorithm, because people are holding on to their money right now. Like it will give you a million reasons why, and it will feel completely normal and justified that those are accurate and correct. And there's nothing to say that they're not. But there's also the other side, which is to say you could input, how can I adapt right now to serve people better so that I thrive during this time? And your brain will equally set to work and it will go, let's change this offer. Let's switch our marketing. It will give you the appropriate response to your query. This is the power of your mind, but most people don't use it properly. They don't ask the right questions. And so they get shitty results. And it's not because of all of these external bullshit factors. It's because you're asking the wrong questions. You are not treating this amazing tool between your ears, the way that it needs to be treated in order to give you the optimal results that you want. And flipping back for a second, to this idea of like optimistic, pessimistic, really interesting if you look at Latin roots of words, which I really like to do because language is powerful. And the meaning behind optimistic really comes from optimize, which is really about making the most of what is around you, making the most of opportunities. That's what it means. It doesn't mean that you're like head in the clouds, ignoring things, pretending stuff's great when it's not. It's looking at a situation from a perspective which is beneficial and which will allow you to benefit, right? So these are the things that are really important to recognize, to adapt to pivot. And this is really the key word right now. I mean, anytime we're in a recession, anytime we're seeing like a global marketplace change, pivot, 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 pivot. Like, I want you to think back to, you remember the Friends episode where they're trying to get the couch up the stairs and Ross is like, pivot! Like, that's what I want you to think about right now. Now is the time to pivot. We really need to do that. So we just really want to come into this with this awareness that it's not all of this bullshit because your brain wants to say it's all of this crap, so I'm just going to go and take a break, right? No, it's okay, interesting. Something else is happening. What's the opportunity here? What am I missing from this situation, this picture that I can utilize? The other thing, if we're talking about the algorithm, I've heard so many people complaining about that. Guys, you need things that they're timeless tactics. That's what you need. You need timeless tactics. You need things that are not dependent on anything other than you showing up in a way where you can get in front of an audience. Now, obviously, if you're like, well, Amanda, my normal way of doing that's been working for years and years and years isn't working right now. Cool. Well, how can you do something right now that you will get in front of people? Because guess what? If I said, you need to go and talk to somebody right now, or I'm going to take away your chocolate for a month. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something on the top of my head. But if I was to be like, you have to do this, like it's do or die, you'd run out and find a stranger on the street and you would talk to them, right? So the thing is, there's always a way to get in front of people. You're just not using your amazing brain yet to find that way to get in front of those people. So if posting the way that you've been posting isn't working, what's a new way that you can try and get in front of them? Maybe you're like, okay, well, I'll try Reels, or maybe I'll try a new DM strategy, or maybe I'll lean into my email list. Like, whatever the case may be, pivot. Pivotal word today is pivot. We need to be pivoting. We need to be adapting, no matter what's going on. And the marketplace is always adapting. People think that, this recession, it's different from last time. It's going to kill us all, blah, 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 blah. Bullshit. We've been through so many recessions. It is a normal marketplace thing. And thank God it's happening right now. And I know that might sound weird, but the truth is the rate of inflation is getting way too high. The day-to-day living expenses for necessities, way too high. Like it was becoming to the point where people couldn't live anymore. That's unsustainable. So we needed it to crash. We needed it to come down. This is actually a good thing. It's just a market correction. But we tend to look at it as the end is nigh, it'll never be the same, it'll never go back up to what it once was. Again, that's bullshit. Look at the history of statistics. Like, we always see it going like this. Like, this is the way that the marketplace goes. It goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. And this is also a universal law, right? We live in duality. So whenever something goes up, it must come down, right? Equal opposite reaction. This is always coming back to, this is the cool thing about it, and in spirituality and science, they really like pair up and go together. This is just the universal laws that we live within. So the more you can lean into that and understand that this is the way the world works, the more you can lean in and trust that, hey, this is actually a great time of opportunity for me. This is a time for me to try something different, to be unique, to stand out while everybody else is freaking out and going, oh my God, the end is nigh, rah, 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 rah. You're out there going, let's make some money. Like, this is the energy to come into it with. This is the attitude that is going to make you a freaking winner. So this is what we really need to be focused on, what we need to be doing. We really, really need to do that. So here's your invitation today to step up and do that, to start using your brain for you by asking the right questions. Ask the questions that are going to get the answers that you're looking for. How can I adapt right now to serve my market better? What's a new and unique way that I can market my services? How can I talk to more people in a way I've never tried before? Your brain will find the answers. It's a really cool thing about your brain. It loves to find you new search results. So give it the right queries. This is going to change your life, your business, everything about you, and it's going to make you successful. Remember, energy is attractive. So if right now you're kind of in the pits and your energy is low, people aren't attracted to that, right? Like, you're going to get other low vibe people who are just going to have like a nice little bitch fest with you, which might feel cathartic, but it ain't going to help your bank account. It's not going to help your business. It's not going to help you feel better in the long run. So what we really want to do instead, like if you need to vent, be like, oh, I'm so fucking frustrated. Get it out of your system. You're human, please do that. But then let's move on and be like, okay, what's the solution to get out of here? What's the way to make changes that are going to like catapult my business forward no matter what's going on? Because people get successful at all times. If you're feeding yourself a rhetoric that like nobody's successful right now, you're feeding yourself a ton of lies. Period. Sorry to say it. You may not want to hear it right now, but the truth is people are making sales left, right, and center. Like I'm making sales every single day. More money is coming in my life and my business. Like this is the reality. And I'm not saying that to, be a jerk here either. If you're suffering, trust me, I feel you. My business took years and years and years and years and years for me to figure out. And it was like struggle. So more than anybody, please know I have so much compassion for the frustration of figuring this shit out. But I can tell you, it's not the strategy, it's the energy, it's the mindset, it's the viewpoint. Because you probably, if you've made sales before, it's not that much different. Even when you pivot, it's little adjustments. Like the strategy it's important. You need to be able to get out there. You need to know how to sell and market and all those things. But they're really essentially quite easy to do. The harder part is keeping your mind laser sharp, focused. Where am I going? What am I doing? What's the opportunity here? Instead of letting yourself get down when maybe you didn't hit the goal that you wanted to hit. That maybe you didn't sign the client you wanted to sign today. That maybe the sale call didn't go so great. Whatever. That's one incident. That's just one incident. We tend to let things get us down where instead we need to go, cool, that person wasn't aligned. Let me find the next person. Maybe they will be. It's keeping that energy up. And again, it's totally okay to get a little like, oh, that was a pain in the ass. It's okay to acknowledge it. I will never, ever, ever advocate toxic positivity. Be human, feel your feelings, but pull yourself back up and recognize there's an opportunity in everything. There is an opportunity to learn at every moment. So use it, lean into it, leverage it. Now is the time more than any other time. Like recessions are when people get really, 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 really rich, right? So this is the time for you to go, okay, how do these people do that before? And then utilize those strategies for yourself. One thing that's really interesting, I study business because if you're in business, I really do believe that you need to study business. It's, you want to be good at it. You need to study, what works. And then, of course, adapt it to your own unique model. And I really like looking at timeless strategies. That's really, really important. Timeless strategies. So things that worked 100 years ago that still work today, because those will always work. Right? So there's some fundamentals, right? The fundamentals of making a sale, of conversation, those will never, ever go out of style. Yes, of course, there's aspects that change. Like, for example, TV advertisements, not as popular today as something that's going to show up on the side of your like Facebook feed, for example. But that's just execution. It has nothing to do with, reaching the heart of somebody with your copy, of knowing your niche, of like those basic tenets of marketing and sales that will always apply. Those things, learn those, because then you can adapt to any situation. Then it's just about how do I execute this differently? That's it. And that's easy by comparison. So Anyways, I could go on and on and on and on, but I've given you a lot to think about today. And the biggest thing I want you to think about is what's the perspective? What's the story you're telling yourself? And is it helping you or is it hindering you? And if it's hindering you, change the dialogue. That all is in your head and it will make all the difference in the world. So guys, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. I do want to remind you, we have the Visionary Masterclass, which is coming up August 3rd. And if you sign up by August 2nd, you're going to get 90% off. So this is a $222 masterclass, but you're going to get in for $22. And we're going to talk about how you can show up and be the visionary in your business, in your life, so that you can craft the best possible results for yourself to get the finances, the clients, and in your personal life, all of those things that you've always wanted to experience. Like, this is you crafting your life by design instead of reactively doing it in a way where we're kind of going month to month. We're going to be looking long-term, big picture vision. This is how the mega successful do it, and this is how you're going to learn to do it too. So I love you. I'll see you there, and I'll post the link below so you can check it out. Have a great day. Bye.